Hey, welcome back to Asagao Academy. I'm your Prince of Plays, Solon, and we are back with Mai and Hana. And when we last left off on Asagao Academy, we can play games. We game hard. We get real competitive, and we've got a fighting spirit. We are finding this out about ourselves. We kind of knew that from how, this works really nicely with Hana's character. We know that Hana is competitive because she gets really activated when she is either attacked or enjoyed by other people. Like when she socially interacts with people, she gets really activated. However, she's super introverted. And so she kind of closed her shell a lot because of a lot of past trauma that we were trying to get over. And we're finding out that video games might be our way into doing that. This is really cool. This is really cool how they do this to Hana's character. Because if this is supposed to celebrate these YouTubers who focus on video games, what better way to do that than to have a main character who is essentially saved by video games. This is a very common, a common narrative for people in real life. And so it really works well for Hana's character to be like, I am not good at games, but I enjoy this. I enjoy having a system with which I can control and work within to carry out my own personal goals. That's why video games have saved a lot of us. That's why video games have been that point of focus for so many people. That's why the identity gamer exists, where in any other media form, that kind of idea doesn't really exist in the same huge way. It's such a huge thing because that narrative is common, is that video games have saved us. Video games have saved us because of how we have power over systems. It's cool. It's cool how that works out, and it really works out for this game. However, Mai did not enjoy that. Meanwhile, in Asagao Academy, our dying dad is super poor and dying and is in grayscale flashbacks. Very sad. Cry. It was like, let's flashback to terrifying times in our past. Hana, this will probably happen to Hana more. So, Hana saying, as if this couldn't have happened without me here. This is actually really funny because Mai was our link into Hana's boy club. Anyway, we have a job on RDLP ahead of us. We have to actually kind of push. We have to push through this really, really quickly, and it's gonna be kind of weird. But we've got like a lot of work ahead of us. The intro to this game is going on for a long, long time, and I really want to get to being able to make datey faces with Peanut Butter Gamer, and that kind of conflicts with how long this setup has been. It's been a great setup, it's just very long and I want to get through it. So we've got our work cut out for us, and I'm going to push. Less analysis, a little more reading. And that reading is going to come fast, like a fastball pitcher, basically. Mai shoved her face into her pillow and emitted a muffled reply. Yeah, whatever you say. I fell on my bed, staring at the rungs that kept Mai and her mattress from collapsing onto me and smothering to death at night, a common fear of anyone who's ever lived in a bunk bed. That was fun! I had fun playing video games. Video games are fun. Really? She shuffled around on top of her bed. I thought it was okay, it was passable. I don't know if I'd call it super fun or anything. Really? She chuckled. Boys and their toys. Seems like you've found your calling. Cool! We're just gonna identify that now. We've found our calling. Sure I have. Above me, Mai yawned. Let's go to sleep. Bye-bye. Smiling, I got up and turned out our light.
Good night.
Good night, Mai. As the chill weather of early spring faded to warmth stretched across Asagao, I itched to go outside. With Satch's book in the hand, I took to the streets. Since many people realized how rare this moment was, most of the usual benches and grassy spots were taken. I kept walking until I came to the soccer field. There was a practice game being held, and PBG and his friend Jeff were running across the field. Being a skirmish, the bleachers were almost completely empty. Students scattered the shiny metal seats, but there was more than enough room for me. In one swift motion, practiced many times over my life, I sat down, spun my backpack into the space next to me, and pulled out my book. I was nearly done with it, and I wanted to see if I could finish it today. It was due a few days ago, so I was kind of under pressure. At a pause in my reading, I looked up to watch PBG on the field. A shock of color at the base of the bleachers caught my eye. It looked like some kind of metallic candy wrapper, and a pang of annoyance struck me. There was a trash can nearby. Why would you litter? But as I jumped down the streets of the bleacher and nearly slipped off one, it became clear that it wasn't trash. The colors changed as the angle of the light did. It was an iridescent purple figurine, itty bitty, and a kitty. Was it Gerard's? He was the only person I knew who collected them. I held it up to the nearest student, who shook his head. I was free for a while. Gerard was really into the IBK scene, so if it wasn't his, I'd probably know who it belonged to. Oh no. I had no idea where his room is. Oh no! This is a fetch quest, and we have to go retrieve the person. Conveniently at that moment, PBG ran off the field to get a drink. I approached him, holding the kitty in front of me like a talisman. Hey. Yo. Pony, not ponies, they're kitties. Itty bitty kitty, is this yours? Someone Gerard's maybe? Do you know Gerard's room number? I think he dropped this. I held the kitty up again and glimmered in the sun, much like PBG just now with all that physical activity. Ooh, thirsty Hana. Oh, Gerard was just here. It has to be his. I asked him to bring me my goalie gloves. I wasn't ready to take McJones's place today. His room's right across from mine. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Tom. Okay. Cool. Jeff. It's weird. These are like real people. I'm not being biased. I'm just, gotta be focused. I gotta stay on my game. My date game. Hurry up, PBG. PBG groaned. It wasn't much of a break. See ya. Gotta go. Good luck with your fetch quest, dummy. He took a huge gulp from his water bottle and poured the rest on his head. And jumped back into the game. Oh my. His teammates patted him on the back and on the butt and other places as he rejoined them. I placed the IBK into my uniform's Lilliputian pocket and headed to Bluebell. Most of those words were made up, but the words that really appealed to me was that he was doing a Nike commercial in the middle of his and everyone starts patting him on the back like, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good, and he's just like, yes, I am. I'm so good. As I entered Bluebell House, a passing boy frowned at me. Was I even allowed to be here by myself? How does this work? Boys, girls? I don't know. I shook my head. There was no time to be afraid. Today I had a mission. Just as PBG said, there was a door right across from his room. I knocked and fished the IBK out of my pocket. It's you. Shane answered the door, not all pleased to see me. Oh, hi Shane, how are you? Who's Gerard's roommate? Why, oh why was it Shane who's Gerard's roommate? I tried to laugh to diffuse the situation, but it was weak. I felt like I was only making things worse. I didn't know what went on in Shane's mind. He looked at the IBK in my hands. Gerard should be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'll just wait in the common room. When he gets back, can you tell him to try and find me? I could read downstairs, even if it took Gerard an hour to get back. I could keep myself occupied. I could tell him, but it would be much easier if you waited in here. He put his hand out, gesturing me inside. All right, thanks. I entered the room and stood smack in the middle of it. Shane plopped into a chair in front of what must have been his desk. I sat down in what I assumed to be Gerard's chair on the opposite side. Shane swiveled around and started to click something on his laptop. Seeing as he wasn't much for small talk, I observed the room. The room was well decorated, one could say. There were a lot of itty-bitty kitties, and each arranged neatly with the brethren of similar design. Every empty space not filled with school-related objects was covered by the pads of a cute little cat, or at least the sealed box of one. Even parts of Shane's shelves had IBK on them. I had to admit, IBK is a lot to say. It was kind of endearing. Something about the dedication required was sweet. Do you collect itty-bitty kitties too? Not really, they're Gerard's, I don't mind. I see, thank you. It's kind of nice. Oh, what'd that say? Niche, oh, I'm surprised you're into them. Oh, no, I don't collect them. I just found the one on the side of the field. PBG said Gerard was there earlier, so I came to find out whether it was his. It probably is. But my hastiness to disown the figure did not go unnoticed by Shane, who made a face at me. If it's not Gerard's, he'll probably know whose it is, right? It's probably Gerard's. We're grown adults. This is a children's toy. I can't tell if Shane, just loathes this whole thing or is, just kind of being cheeky. I smoothed my thumb over the plastic kitty absent-mindedly. Shane returned to whatever he was doing online, and I conversed with the figure in my hand. Who's a pretty kitty? Who's a pretty kitty? You are? You're a pretty kitty. Gerard came back about 2 minutes later. Who's a oh. Hey, Shane. And Hana. He held 2 coffees in his hands. Suddenly, he turned pink. And what are you doing in here? Alone? Together? We're not doing anything. Hana was looking for you. Really? How can I help, Hana? He gave a coffee to Shane and offered the other one to me. Here, take mine. I would have gotten you one too if I knew you were here. It's really nice of you, but no thanks. I just came to see if this was yours. For what felt like the 10th time in the last hour, I displayed the itty bitty kitty. Take it, kitty, it's yours. Just go. Oh, yeah! Gerard almost dropped his coffee as he left forward. I lost this today. Where did you find it? Near the field. PBG told me you were there earlier, so I wanted to give it back to you. PBG, field, can I go now? I got it. There's a boy in a soccer field. He's getting real sweaty. I handed the figure to Gerard, who looked about ready to kiss it.
You're the best.
Thank you, Hana. Thank you. You didn't have to do this, but you did, and I don't know what I had done without you. Wasn't any trouble at all. He looks pretty rare.
They're special.
It's not as rare as you think, but it's pretty special to me. So I'm glad you were the one to find it. I shouldn't have been so careless. Don't beat yourself up about it. What matters now is you got it back. Maybe zip up your pockets next time.
I promise.
You bet. I'll take a load of precaution to make sure this never happens again. He placed it delicately on the shelf with the other kitties that had the same iridescent properties. Gerard looked at me while I viewed his hard-earned assemblage.
Right.
Oh, duh, Gerard, you dummy. How rude of me to not introduce you to my collection. Well, let's meet Gerard's collection now. In this room, I have 247 itty-bitty kitties of every shape and size. I have named every one of them. This is the newest set, the Catastrophes. They're a band. They're really popular right now. I traded my rare extras for these the other day. The one you brought back to me is from a set of 4 that are called Opalescents. Currently, they're the only shinies. They were so pretty. My gaze fixated on them. I'm just missing the last Opalescent. It's a purple one, Princess Pumpernickel. I've tried everywhere, but no one has them in stock. I mean, there's only 3 copies in the world, so it's not really surprising. It's more surprising I managed to get these ones. I have one of the most complete collections in the world. My Rattata's in the top 3% of all Rattatas in the world. People think that the Kitties Company gave me the newest figurines, but I earned all my IBK fair and square. I can tell this took a lot of hard work. I'm amazed at how much effort you put into this. He sighed heavily and sat down on his bed.
Completed.
Thanks, Hana. I just wish I could get that last figure. I wish I could find a little bit of care, but glasses are up. That means I'm in business mode. I gotta get through all this. I love Gerard and I love this character, but good God, is this like a lot. It's just very dense to parse through all of this. I could finish the collection and the kitties would have all their friends together in one place. I don't think Gerard knows how a collection works. Also, it's kind of interesting that Gerard collects these itty bitty kitties and that a collection is actually like takes a lot of hard work and money. And so having a huge collection like this is very cost consuming. We've established that the normal boots are rich. They are wealthy. This is a wealthy school for wealthy students. Hana, I don't think, is recognizing the wealth disparity that is on display here. As this is something she'd never do. This is something she'd never really want to do. But I kind of was hoping we'd get to like point out that this is very like, what's the word? Opulent. Showing a whole collection here, and how Gerard just kind of crassly is like, I want all the kitties to have their friends together in one place. Like, really, Gerard, really? I wish I could help, Hana says unhelpfully. Don't worry about it, Hana. This is my battle to fight. I nodded, then glanced at my watch. Oh, look at my wrist. It's about time to GTFO. I really want to finish this book today, so if you ever need help, I'm here. Just call me up. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. I stood up and waved to the both of them.
Bye.
Lights.
Bye.
Oh, you're still here, Shane? Bye. I keep forgetting that he's like British. I just give him this like horrifying Reaper voice. See ya. Like he's the Undertaker or something. Thankfully, I managed to finish the book. Good for you, Hana. It took more time than I expected, though. By the time I got back to my room, it was dark outside.